theoretical thrills, the theory of the thrill.
Oh boy!
In 3, 2, fun!
Hello and welcome to Theoretical Thrills. I'm your host, Brad.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Chris.
Today we are joined by a very special guest, Vince Dixon. Now, this is our first official episode of season 3. You may notice Chris is here and Oliver is not. Yes, sadly, COVID hit a lot of people hard. None more than Oliver.
Who is working as a COVID compliance
Oh, he's working. Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
I didn't mean to say
Did
that.
you not make that clear?
I should have worded that better. He's working as a COVID safety officer, and obviously with
Completely
COVID,
alive.
with COVID going up and being on film sets, he just unfortunately doesn't have the time to do this. So Chris has stepped in to fill those glorious puppet shoes.
Shoes.
Chris, thank you. Let's kick it off. Vince, how's it going?
It's going okay, and it's good.
Good. So Vince, we're gonna ask you, what is your connection with theme parks?
I am a born-again Disney adult. My girlfriend got me hooked on Disneyland about 3 years ago, and I have since gone probably like 40 times to Disneyland since then. I took a themed entertainment class in college, and I was part of the escape room club at USC when I was there, and so I got really into themed entertainment. Nowadays, though, I'm more into just like vibing at Disneyland, paying $900, $1,000 for my annual pass or Magic Key Pass, and I also have a Universal annual pass. So I just kind of enjoy it a lot, but I do like to think about the parks a lot. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about the parks, and kind of obsess over the smallest things, such as there was a barricade put up in the Esplanade between Disneyland and California Adventure a couple months ago, and I was showing my girlfriend this 9-minute video about why this barricade was there, and this was definitely a moment where I was like, what am I? How did this happen?
Welcome to our world. So you mentioned Universal, so just Universal Hollywood, correct? You've never been to Universal on the East Coast, Orlando.
Nice.
Very nice.
So
Florida's great for theme parks. It's great.
So not that I've got any bias or anything. What do you think about Knott's Berry Farm? Not that I worked there for many years, and have love for it. Thoughts? Okay.
They're amusement parks. It's just roller coasters. Yeah.
Fair. All right. That's fine.
Now that we've had you introduce yourself, I do have to ask though, why Rick and Morty? Our topic today is Rick and Morty. Great. Well, I'm happy because I love Rick and Morty, especially the finale episodes because they're always heartwarmingly depressing.
Cool. I love Rick and Morty too. I've seen maybe a part of an episode.
Is this one of the Spencer hasn't seen the IP episodes?
This is most Spencer IPs.
It's like every
That's
episode.
That's fair. I think that's gonna be me next week. So
Well,
it's okay.
before the show, we decided, Vince, we actually let you pick, and you decided that I was going to go first, followed by Chris, and Spencer is going to go last. So
just wait. I'm going to bring it home, y'all.
yeah.
Can't wait. Can't
Bring
wait,
it all
Spence.
down. I have 3 wonderful pitches for you today for Rick and Morty. I actually went all 3 ride based this time because there's just so much to pull from for Rick and Morty. So much of a world universe because of the portal hopping and the spaceship and all the different dimensions and everything that they're always going to. So I've got 3 rides for you. The first ride is called Flight of the Ricks. Now, Flight of the Ricks is a hanging coaster, flight style. It's flying style to where you're going to be slanted like you're flying like Superman here at Six Flags, Manta at SeaWorld in Orlando.
Tatsu.
It's going to be that style because the whole theme of it is that you're going to be having jetpacks as you fly through portals trying to escape the Council of Ricks. So there's several episodes where, especially the main big episode I remember is Morty and Rick just trying to escape the Council of Ricks and just constantly jumping and jumping and jumping to a world where humans were chairs, a world where chairs were ordering pizza. Bunch of weird worlds and stuff like that. So I want to have the same sort of idea. Now, the nice thing is throughout this, we can have pre-show videos because you're walking through the actual council, the Rick world. You're actually walking through it, seeing all this stuff. And so we can actually have pre-show videos featuring Christopher Lloyd playing the different Ricks. Because he's already now been on Adult Swim in the short as being the live version of Rick. So now we can actually have a live version of Rick. And I think this is great because I grew up with Back to the Future at Universal Orlando. Doesn't exist anymore. It's now Simpsons The Ride. But the big thing was it was Christopher Lloyd the entire time. And so now we get to bring him back. And I'm excited about that. So you are with Rick C-137. One of the things that I think will be fun, though, is the big thing with the worlds, jumping the worlds, is they were very weird and abstract and parody sort of thing. I want my parody worlds to be all based on other theme park rides. So you're flying through a parody of It's a Small World. You're flying through a parody section of King Kong. You're flying through pretty much an identical section of the acid trip that is the last part of E.T. the Ride, because that doesn't need altered whatsoever. It's already trippy enough. And so you're going to be going through that, and you'll finally escape the Rick Councilor Ricks by ending in the garage, which you'll exit through the door and into the gift shop. So that is my first ride, Flight of the Ricks. It's a indoor roller coaster through a flying roller coaster through a bunch of portal parody rooms.
Indoor flyer, interesting.
It's live sets, yes. Because a lot of it is we're sort of creating a storyline like you can do with like Hagrid and Hagrid's flying motorcycle in Orlando and stuff like that, where it's a little bit more story involved in the whole process. I think the fun thing is obviously you're going to be going faster because it is a roller coaster. So you're seeing quick snippets. And so that means every time you ride it, you're seeing something different based on your position and based on in the coaster and what rooms you're actually choosing to see as you're flying through and stuff like that.
I was just about to ask about the speed.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, it is a roller coaster. The big thing is though, because it's more thematic and stuff like that, there isn't going to be any loops. This is going to be more flying jetpacks through the thing. So there will be banking turns and stuff through the rooms and that, but there aren't going to be any actual loops or anything like that.
Will it be going too fast though to really appreciate and take in the
Yes.
scenes? That's my concern. You did bring up it going faster.
No, I don't. This is going to be. It's going to be faster than a kid level roller coaster.
Oh,
but it's not going to be. I wouldn't call it an extreme thrill ride. It's because part of the thing with like Superman stuff like that is obviously the whole point is you're going fast. I would say this is probably, whereas those coasters are getting up, you're up in there in 60 miles, 70 miles. This is probably between 40 and 50 at times.
So you're talking like kite flyer vibes, because laying on your going on your tummy is it's pretty intense as it is at any speed.
Yeah. So that, I mean, but it's going to be but it's not going to be as fast as like a launch coaster or anything like that.
We're on the scale of 1 to 10 as far as whipping through quickly on lying on your stomach as you pass by intricate sets. On the scale of 1 to 10 for motion sickness, where would you rank this ride?
Do you get sick on regular roller coasters?
I mean, are you talking about for me? It really depends on things, but I mean, I'm just whipping through on my stomach, looking left and right of me at things.
I think it's going to be no different than a normal roller coaster, which is still surrounded by things that you're looking at.
Yeah, but it's like trees.
In the dark.
Like, I'm not looking at trees. I'm looking at these worlds.
I think you'll be fine. If you get motion sickness on roller coasters, you'll probably get motion sickness on this one. But it's not high G-force or anything like that. Like, that's not high G's or anything. So that's not why you're getting motion sickness.
I mean, as long as it's G-force with the hamsters, then I'm in.
No. Any other questions? No?
I have no questions.
You're always tilted sort of flying, so you can look side to side, stuff like that, but it's not going to rotate or anything. Just because of the position you're in, I worry about safety.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too.
All right. If there's no other questions, no other thoughts, then I guess I'll move in to my second ride.
Yeah, do it.
Ride number 2. Now, this one I'm really proud of. Because, as I said, a lot of Rick and Morty is parody and poking fun at things and stuff with an underlying overarching story and that. But one of the best episodes introduced a character so iconic, so important to the world, that no bad thoughts have ever crossed anyone's mind because of him. That's Mr. Poopy Butthole. That's right. I have created a ride called Mr. Poopy Butthole's AP Imposter.
The fact that that's a character.
So yes, welcome Spencer to Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, man. This episode.
We're gonna take this classic episode of where there's an alien parasite imposter, and we're gonna turn it into they're back. The alien parasite imposters are back in a Toy Story Mania style ride. So your Mr. Poopy Butthole is gonna arm you up and send you on an adventure through the streets of and house of where Rick and Morty live in a Toy Story style ride where you're shooting your little laser gun at the screens to destroy the alien parasite imposters that have infected this world. This will allow us to fill it with just tons of the side characters, of the little bit characters that exist that we don't get to see enough of, as well as just make some other joke characters as well. I think something that would be fun with this, though, and very Rick and Morty, is you find out at the end that the only people that were alien parasite imposters were just like the one parody of Mickey Mouse. That's it. Everybody else was just a normal person. You just killed them all.
I just imagine this being Mr. Poopy Butthole's fart fair.
So I think this would be a fun game. I think it's just something silly. It's a way for us to get to see a bunch of other characters. They get a bunch of little one-liners and stuff like that we don't get enough of throughout the show because they're just tossed in as one-off characters. That's my second ride, Mr. Poopy Butthole's AP Imposter. So the ride vehicle is going to be, I would say, similar in style to the spaceship, like Rick's actual spaceship. But obviously, we're going to make it bigger so that it fits 3 in the front, 3 in the back. This is a 6-person ride vehicle, but it is going to be thematically remind you of Rick's spaceship.
What's the title?
Mr. Poopy Butthole's AP Imposter.
See, you had a real great opportunity here to do Mr. Poopy or AVP, Alien versus Poopy Butthole.
No, I like being able to
Requiem.
I like being able to say all of these things. I was gonna try and make it an Among Us sort of fun, but I was like, oh, no, there's too much. I don't want to take away from
I'm just
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
That's like PB is literally the initials. Like now I'm thinking of peanut butter.
Yeah, Poopy Butthole.
I feel like they have the same texture.
No, I want to use something similar to sort of laser gun thing that he used in the actual episode.
So a laser gun.
Yeah, I mean, just thematically, it'll look closer to what you'd see in the episode.
It'll look a little less poopy if it's themed appropriately.
Yeah,
Got
exactly. It. Great. I guess that brings me to ride number 3. My final attraction is actually with one of my favorite characters in the entire series. Brings so much to this series. So much.
Is it Mr. Poopy Backside?
This ride is called Jerry's Joyful Jaunt.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Who's Jerry Maguire?
Jerry is the dad. He is the most below average character.
Victor, Vince, if this is any indication as to what Spencer's pitches will be like, hey, they're all on the Adult Swim app, Spencer.
Look,
Yeah.
you act like I know technology. Come on now.
Jerry's Joyful Jaunt. Jerry is the father of the family. Rick hates him. He's not that great of a husband. He's just stupid. But in an innocent, naive sort of way.
He tries his best.
He tries his best. And
Just like
that's
me.
why I wanted to dedicate a ride to him. So this is going to be a slow, dark ride. But it's going to be sort of, it's going to start off, it's going to be educational, like
Mr. Toad.
like Spaceship Earth. Mr. Toad's a little too wild and crazy. This is going to be
For Jerry?
For Jerry. That's
I
too
don't-
wild and crazy. So it's going to be sort of educational, like Spaceship Earth. It's going to be the speed level of Peter Pan stuff. It's very slow moving and stuff like that. I want this to start off feeling like it's a ride Jerry built, and he's proud of it. He is proud of this ride that he has built. And so he's going to be narrating through the speaker to you, quote unquote, live, as you're going through it. What's going to happen about a third of the way through or so, half of the way through, you're going to start hearing Rick butt in. And Rick's going to start having some commentary about this ride, to the point that he's going to decide to spice it up a little bit. And so the second half of the ride, the second 2/3 of the ride, is we're going to start off by having Rick might throw in a spin, or he might make it bounce up and down, the cart actually bounce up and down, to the point where the final act, the final third, is he just starts bringing these robots, animatronics to life, to now where they're trying to hunt the vehicle. And you can just hear the panic between Jerry and Rick the entire time on the intercom, the speaker of your car, as you're just experiencing this ride that is kind of going out of control. Like, you're still on the track, but things are happening off the track or with your vehicle that are unexpected. Something I think that can make this a little bit fun is the spins or the bucking can have a little bit of randomness to it. So it doesn't have to be completely pre-programmed as to every time like we get to this spot, it's always going to spin or stuff like that. I want to keep it a little crazy. So the spins and the bucking and how the cart is actually moving itself is going to vary from ride to ride. It'll still travel along the track at the same pace, but the car itself, sort of like the Indiana Jones car or the dinosaur car and stuff, where they can move separate from what is actually happening on the track. Yes, Spencer.
I just want to picture Jerry's Jolly Jaunt in a jalopy. Just throwing that out there.
I do like that. I do. I do like that. The vehicle could be a jalopy. But
remember, I pitched that idea and Brad did not. So keep that in mind for the final evaluation.
You can't just come in and try and steal points off of me.
No. I'm just saying that. Just remember the jalopy was my idea, so that's the reason why you like it. Just remember that was not the original pitch.
Yeah. Sorry. When it gets to award time, you're only judging on the original pitches. Spencer's correct. Unless you really just the jalopy, if that's a deal breaker, go ahead and just throw it in there. Just pretend it's on there. Just put it. Just pretend it's there.
It's adding the jalopy that really pushes it over the edge. Really, that's
I'll
the
get a
one.
bonus
That's
point
the
for that if that's the jalopy, because I mentioned the jalopy
and then afterwards they sell gelato.
No, it starts with a G. It doesn't work. But you could sell Jello.
Anyways, those are my three pitches. I have Flight of the Ricks, my roller coaster, Mr. Poopy Butthole's AP Imposter, my Toy Story Mania style laser ride, and then Jerry's Joyful Jaunt, my dark ride that slowly goes out of control.
Joyful, not jolly.
Yeah. If there's no more, thank you. I appreciate that. I put a lot of hard work into this. This is what happens when you actually have watched the series.
I put hard work into my pitches because I don't see anything, so it's a lot harder to come up with ideas, just so you know.
Can't wait.
Can't
However,
either.
it is not your turn, Spencer.
No,
I pass it on to Chris. Chris, take it away.
Okay, so I may not be as good as a title maker as Brad here, but I will do my best. My first pitch is in the similar theme and of Brad's second pitch about season 2, episode 4, Total Recall. I will call it Total Recall Annihilation, just to give it something. But it is in the vein of a laser tag experience. So a couple years ago, Knott's Berry Farm during Haunt had a experience called Infected, where you go into the area of Camp Snoopy and you have laser guns and you can shoot zombies, and it counts to a point and it tallies. And so it's a very immersive experience. So in this, you are put into an immersive experience throughout the Smith house. So like, it's leading into the garage and then down into the lab of Rick. So the idea is, again, the situation is the parasites are back. You start seeing the same creatures and characters that they introduce in the episode, and obviously you have to shoot them. And now these characters will be up just to make it a little easier in like a sort of panel. So they're projected, and like once you shoot them, they go away. And also at the beginning of the experience, you have to sign a little release form, and then you put your social media, as in like Instagram, Facebook there. So as you continue on through the house, shooting the obvious characters, you get to the point where, oh, is that my grandma? Because they've taken the photo and image of your family members from your social media and projected them onto these panels. And to proceed, you need to shoot your grandma. Because as we know, Rick
My
and Morty
grandma's
can
dead.
get very... That's the thing, Rick and Morty can get very, very dark.
You started off just so like,
Fine.
okay, great. I get this, right? To like, now you're giving this company access to your social media.
I am. Yeah.
And
This is
photos
what's happening.
so that they can download these images to then
Yeah, and it's it's to give you that sense of pause. So as you continue, you need to keep shooting people that you know, including and not limited to pictures of yourself or your groups of friends that are with you in this experience.
But it's just pictures, so it's not the real thing.
Yeah, but it still be it's the images of the people, and they still have the effects of the parasite shriveling up post being shot.
it just seems
So that's
it just seems like such a you're giving way too much power to this company, your ride.
Yeah,
Two,
you're
it just
paying for them to use your social media.
it just feels like weight for trauma inducing when you get a
To
image
resurface,
of your grandpa who just passed away. You're now fighting that.
You're now killing him.
Apparently,
It's a very long waiver. Okay, this is an experience. So
oh my gosh.
I can tell it's an experience for sure.
so that's the concept of my first one. My second one is called.
Hold on. Do you have anything else you want to say, Vince, before we
Oh yes.
before All right, well,
Hey, if the guest is okay with it, I mean,
I guess.
Yeah,
What if
my
your
second-
social media is marked as private?
they can get in.
oh, that's a very good. That's a very good question. You'd
You have
have
to give them your
you'd ha-
password.
You'd have to like add the games as a friend.
No,
Add
thank
them
You
you.
as
need
a
access
friend
to
so that
these
they-
photos to scar you later on.
Okay, now
down the
this
road.
feels like way too much work for an attraction. I gotta
There's
sign
a
waiver.
proprietary,
I
there's
gotta
a
add them as a
proprietary
friend.
program.
What if you
that,
don't have social media?
Can you
Just
play?
can't do
You're
this
not
right?
then you're not allowed on the ride.
I brought my floppy disk. What do I do?
That's I haven't even thought about the not having social media because that's a thing that people do, and I'll have to come back around to that.
All right, what's your second pitch?
Second pitch is a game, like a boardwalk game sort of deal. This is called, this is really stupid, but I mean, it's Rick and Morty. This is called Operation: HORSE. As we know, Beth Smith is a horse surgeon. Beth is a
What was
horse
this?
surgeon, specifically.
Beth?
Yes,
Yeah.
Beth the mother is a horse surgeon.
Oh, the mom.
So what this is basically you're playing the game Operation on a horse who talks because it's a sentient alien horse.
Was he BoJack
Because Rick and
Horseman?
Morty. And so this horse will be screaming at you, telling you what's wrong, and you have to play Operation on like the guts that you can see. It's
Well,
a very strange.
This
Huh?
is an alien horse, not a colon horse.
Yes,
It's not
this is a
Seabiscuit.
gap. Yeah, not a colon horse, but
You said Operation colon horse.
Oh, I see what you did there. I like that.
I thought this was gonna be another Mr. Poopy Butthole showing up.
no,
We should
basically,
just call him BoJack.
basically that's the entire premise is you play Operation on a gigantic board, and like the horse is like an animatronic horse talking to you, screaming in pain every time you get something wrong.
All right.
That's
Well, if this,
terrifying.
I mean, obviously this sounds amusing to walk by on the boardwalk. What are the prizes? What can I
The
win?
guts of the horse.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a Rick and Morty theme park, so it has to be plushies of the favorite characters of
Jerry and Beth.
Well, I was thinking again, Mr. Poopy Butthole's a good character. We can do
Meeseeks.
a stuffed Mr. Meeseeks. We can do a a a chibi Mr. Bird person or bird person.
I mean, I like that. I think you're missing an opportunity though. Spencer almost nailed it. Is what if you just did like stuffed animal style horse guts, and that's what you're actually retrieving from the slots, or is the stuffed animal horse gut that you are getting, the stuffed horse gut you're getting.
Well, I'm almost nailing a lot of these
do I
pictures
want
today,
the
aren't
do
I?
I want the horse stomach? Let's get in there and
That's
get it.
really, really good. I really like that.
No,
I wish I had
like
thought about
unicorn
that.
poop. They like unicorn poop, so it could be like
Yeah.
horse guts.
I like
That
this.
is very in brand of Rick and Morty.
Yeah,
Ugh.
like
Maybe I understand this show more than I thought.
you could
I
you
think
could
you would
treat it,
like this show, man.
you could treat it like those collectibles and stuff that you get in like the little bags where you don't know what it is. So you're
it's
just
a
getting
mystery organ.
you're getting the mystery organ that you're gonna cut
Oh,
open
that's
to
good.
get your little
And
mystery
then someone
prize.
plays the organ when you get it.
No.
It's mystery meat. Ugh.
Yeah, I really wish I thought of that. That's a great idea. I like that
Thank
idea.
you.
You know, I think that might be our first ever boardwalk amusement game.
Really?
Maybe, yeah, it might be.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's
I know,
ever pitched.
I know Chris pitched a boardwalk before.
He did.
Like
I
a
did.
boardwalk.
Yeah,
He did.
the
He pitched the
entire
whole
thing.
boardwalk.
Yeah.
Anyways, what is pitch number 3?
Okay, pitch number 3 is Rick and Morty. You MCU, we did multiverse first! Exclamation point. I recently
long
just
title.
rode the Rise of Resistance at Disneyland. I am still absolutely blown away. For those of you who have not ridden it, it's a trackless ride where you ride like a cart. It's a dark ride inside, I guess. Does it consider a dark ride? It's pretty open
Dark
for a
ride.
dark ride.
I think it's a dark ride, yeah.
It's a dark
Okay.
ride. It's an
But
indoor.
it's
You're
a-
in a slow moving vehicle. It's a dark ride.
Fair. That's very, very okay. Cool. Okay, so it's a dark ride, but it's a trackless vehicle, and you go through the experience of escaping a first order Star Destroyer. In this concept, using that sort of technology, you are in a cart that is Rick's car that turns into a UFO, riding through different dimensions, experiencing all the ones we've had on the show, including and not limited to the phone universe, where people like use people as phones or what have you. And you're just basically experiencing all of those multidimensional worlds within this cart, and there are going to be multiple starting points for different like boarding groups to start either at a different order of the worlds or a different track where you see different worlds. So that way, if you go to this end, you'll see different worlds and starting off with like point B. The most important part, at least I think, is halfway through the ride, as you're going through these different dimensions, all of you who have started in different spots simultaneously end up in one gigantic room going off to your next adventure, but seeing everybody else at the same time coming in through that room. So you see different Rick UFOs going through this multi-dimensional portal room as you go on to your next thing. So you'll be like passing by people either on the same level or higher levels just for that specific moment.
So, are you talking a multi-track ride like Dueling
Multi-track for
Dragons, the roller
multiverse.
coaster was, where each track is its own little thing, or are you talking a multi-station ride where it's like a train in that you stop at the next station, you get off, and other people get on, and it goes to the next
It'll
station?
be my initial thought was you would see the different rooms, but I think having a different order of dimensions as you go through per different starting points gives rewritability. Gives more rewritability.
But so like a multi-track. Like if I were riding a dueling coaster, I'd go on and go, okay, I'm gonna do the blue line this time,
Yes.
or I'm gonna do the red line this time.
Yes.
It's not I'm gonna do the blue line and I get off at the red.
Right. Yeah.
And then that red one becomes okay. It's two separate tracks, sort of it's multiple separate tracks. Is what I mean.
But yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
And all basically, one of the big rooms being that gigantic multi-portal room where you see everybody else on the same ride at the same time, just to be like, there's more of us.
That makes more sense. It's just multiple boarding rooms all getting there.
Yes.
Each one's programmed to something.
Multi-track for multiverse.
Hey,
that makes more sense, because at first when you were describing it, I was like, this you get on at one point and get off at another point is what it sounded like, and I was like, so like a train that's just going to constantly get backed up. Because it would without, you wouldn't be able to regulate it as well for that cool effect of everybody crossing.
Right.
All right. Well, I don't hate that. I don't.
Hey, cool. So those are my three. Total Recall Annihilation with your social media being used.
Yep. We remember.
Operation HORSE, where unfortunately not my idea for the plush organs, but still you operating on a horse with an animatronic head that yells in pain if you get it wrong. And Rick and Morty MCU, we did Multiverse first, the ride.
All right, I guess that leaves us Spencer.
I'm actually a lot more excited than I was walking in. So my first attraction is the ride Rick to the Future, the ride, which is a pretty much a rehash of Back to the Future, but with the Rick and Morty feel to it. So it's going to have a 270-degree screen, so when you jump through the portal in the ride, then you can see yourself going through this portal into interdimensional pathways. But it's a simulator ride. Guests hop aboard Rick's space cruiser, where they travel through those interdimensional pathways to experience new worlds inside the Rick and Morty microverse, with spoofs of classic movies and television shows, just like Bride of Rickenstein, Get Rick or Die Tryin', and For a Few Dollars, Morty. And ending with the classic Rickroll, because why not have that as the theme song of the Rick and Morty park, where Rick and Morty vow that they are never going to give you up and never going to let you down. And thank you for writing Rick to the Future. So that's the first one.
So this is going to be what replaces Simpsons the Ride.
I guess, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
but
question.
It's 270 degrees, so you get
question
the nice little...
on the song. Is it being sung by Rick and Morty a la drunk karaoke?
Yes, correct.
Show me what you got.
That should have been a thing. A talent show with that.
Well, wait, I'm not done with my pitches yet.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Just kidding. I don't have a talent show.
You know, Spencer, I think your first pitch for not seeing the show is solid.
Thanks.
Honestly, yeah.
Keep it going.
it's an easy way to bring in Rick and Morty. You get to keep your cartoon feel because the screen and stuff like that. It's what Simpsons the Ride did, and as much as I'm sad that replaced Back to the Future, it's it works.
But but we all know Back to the Future was better.
It was, although Universal Orlando, the building it was in was sinking. So like they didn't even use half the theater.
What? It was sinking?
Well, because it's built in Florida, it's all a big swamp.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
There's
that's fair.
So when they did, when they closed it down and did Simpsons and stuff, they had to redo structure.
Damn.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, Spencer.
All right.
Congrats, you got one. Let's see what second.
Thanks.
What
So
your other two are.
pitch number 2 is I love Rick and Roll, Adventures Through the Garage. You're like, I love Rick and roll. So this ride starts with Rick working on a new project, and when it all goes wrong, guests experience the aftermath. It starts out as a simple dark ride taking guests through the garage, the hidden laboratory, secret rooms, right in the thick of Rick's latest creation, and then things go awry. Rick says, oops, the vehicle stops suddenly, launches backwards through the lab, and then comes to a halt when Rick says he thinks he fixed it, then oops, never mind, then the car launches forward back through the lab before one final drop, landing back at the unload station. So it's like a reverse Revenge of the Mummy. It starts out with the dark ride portion, but instead of going forward and then backwards, it goes backward and then forwards.
Well,
So
technically it goes forwards and then backwards still, because you're going forwards through these things.
Yeah,
like Revenge of the Mummy, then backwards.
But
like
I mean,
Revenge of
the
the
fast
Mummy,
part.
then forwards again.
But the fast
like
part
Revenge
goes
of the Mummy.
backwards and then goes forward. It's different. It's the opposite. The dark ride part is the same.
Revenge
forward.
of the Mummy.
Then it goes back and then forward, as opposed to forward then back.
No.
Yes. Oh, all through all of the areas. Like
just
you
said-
start
he
at the
said-
garage.
no,
the
no.
secret-
That's so
No,
specific.
I wrote
That's so specific.
Lab and
All
secret
through
rooms.
all of the areas.
the hidden laboratory, secret rooms, right in the all of the stuff that has in Rick's garage, all the little areas, all the secret. Yeah, all that stuff.
Just he keeps going back to general. The secret rooms and all that stuff. All that stuff. That's
There's
there,
gonna be
you know?
a bathroom. I
The
think he's got
idea
a
is,
bathroom down there.
He's got all these like secret.
All of the
like
rooms,
it's like
all
the
the
base.
rooms.
Like you go underground into the area, and then you've got the secret lab. It's all that stuff in Rick's garage. All the secret areas.
You know he doesn't have that many secret areas.
Just the
Well,
one.
it's not like a
honestly.
10-minute ride. It's like a 3-minute ride. It's fine.
It's gonna be shorter than that because he doesn't have unless you're just like creating all these extra rooms that don't exist.
Look, they can be created. It's like literally a lab. It's fine. You can create anything in a lab.
I don't think you understand how most of his lab is the actual just garage.
Yeah. So that's where it starts, and then you go into the secret laboratory, and then there's other like rooms,
Which
too.
is
There's a couple
smaller
other
than the
rooms.
garage. It's like one
Yeah,
room.
but it's fine. It's an oversized version of it, anyways.
He's gonna launch into a wall, launch back into a wall, launch forward into a wall.
No.
It's that scene from Austin Powers where he gets stuck in the hallway.
The cart lowers in, but it can't actually move.
I almost originally wanted it to be set up kind of like it's sort of like a Rube Goldberg machine idea, but it didn't feel like it was in place of the world, so I kind of nixed that
Your
idea.
cart's lowered in. You hear Rick underneath and go, oh wait, this isn't good. No, no. And then you just squash him, and then that's
That's pitch number 2. Sure,
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It's definitely one of the secret rooms. I mentioned the secret rooms, so yeah.
We can
just-
play this audio and video back and prove he did not mention that.
I said
Not
secret
mention
rooms,
cloning.
though.
No, secret rooms can mean anything. It could be in a ball pit for all I know.
And then Vid said, like the clones and stuff. I'm like, yeah, like that. And then so, I agreed with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spencer, you gotta watch this show because I mean the clone stuff even plays a big role. There's a depressing ending where
Yeah.
So,
Really?
pitch number 3.
all right, Spencer, we now have your secret room ride. What is
So my third pitch, because who doesn't love a good place to eat inside a theme park? So welcome y'all to Pickle Rick's Pickle Plaza. This is a small cafe serving an assortment of gourmet pickles and pickle-based menu items from the bitter to the spicy to the sweet. It includes items such as a dill rickle, which is a classic dill pickle, or a spicy dill rickle, which is a classic dill with spicy Szechuan chicken McNugget sauce flavor, or a Vlasixian, which is like a Calaxian crystal.
Hold on. Back it up.
which is
Szechuan sauce
Szechuan on a pickle? Do you know how pickles are made?
No. You soak it in the sauce. The brine is like Szechuan sauce. The Szechuan chicken, it gives it the spiciness, and when it's soaked in the brine.
I don't think it'll.
I don't think that's how.
Correctly.
I don't think it'll pickle correctly.
It'll work.
Yeah,
It'll work. That's not the point. Yeah.
I think.
Hold on, wait.
I think you're better off. I think you're better off
like
selling
pickles.
the Szechuan sauce separate as a dipping sauce.
Yeah, it can be. That's also the idea. It's all
But because I don't,
gourmet-based pickle items or
I get that,
pickle-based.
but I don't think you can. I don't think your pickle's gonna turn out properly.
It'll work fine.
Trying to brine it in Szechuan sauce.
So then, Vlasixian crystal
It's
pickle,
gonna look like a
which is
brown turd.
like a Calaxian crystal, which is a pickle. It's a pickle finished with Himalayan sea salt for the texture of crystals.
You love your Himalayan sea salt.
So it's got that. The third option would be the Whirly Curly, which is a pretzel twist flavored with pickle seasoning with a side of spicy Szechuan sauce. Thank you very much. I put it in my pitch. It's literally written down.
That's not a pickle. That's a pretzel twist.
Flavored with pickle seasoning because I said pickle-based menu items is what I said. Thank you.
What is pickle seasoning?
What is pickle seasoning?
So okay, so I've actually had pretzel. It's like literally like pickle. It's like pickle flavored salt is what it is. So I've actually had pretzels with pickle on it. It's delicious, by the way. And then I also have, for those who want a little bit of a sweeter pickle, the Scary Berry, which is like a Scary Terry but with berry. It's a Kool-Lickle dipped in mixed berry Kool-Aid. That is scary.
We're going to sit in silence, Spencer. We're going to sit in silence
Pickle Rick's
for
Pickle
that.
Plaza. But here's the thing. People know Pickle Rick, and no one else pitched Pickle Rick.
People do know
Even
Pickle
I know
Rick.
Pickle Rick. I know Pickle Rick, and I've never seen the show.
Vince, I'm going to ask you a question. All right. Spencer, don't interrupt. Vince, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want to eat Pickle Rick? Pickle Rick? I see. Pickle Rick is obviously big. I think Pickle Rick has gotten too meme worthy. He's transcended the show. I'm surprised.
The phrase is overexposure.
No one went with the multi-universal television channels.
You act like I know what that is.
I was thinking about it. I just didn't know.
One of the best episodes. It's such a throwaway episode.
It's great.
It's just they have a remote to watch all these channels from across the multiverse, and there's some weird ones.
That my Rick to the Future ride has a similar concept and idea to floating through different channels.
Okay, it doesn't. That's not the same. No.
It just doesn't have a remote, but other than that,
so
you've
got a pickle.
Yeah, so let me recap. I have Rick to the Future, the ride. I love Rick and Roll Adventures Through the Garage, and Pickle Rick's Pickle Plaza.
What's this Pickle Plaza look like?
It is like, okay, so I tinkered with two ideas because I had it as a cafe and also like a smaller stand style. So the stand style would be like like a gazebo, but it's all painted green and it's got little like an awning and you can like get stuff.
You're pitching to me right now. Are we doing the stand style? Or are we doing a cafe style?
Yeah, one or the other.
Well, there's two options because originally there was the
Are we doing
cafe inside.
Are we doing a cafe style or are we doing
fine.
stand style?
We'll do
I gotta clear the space for you.
All right, fine. We'll do the stand. We'll do the stand style. So you know how you get Dole Whip at Disneyland? It's got a vibe sort of like that, where it's just like a gazebo that's green, and you can order at the counter, and then there's like little cafe style chairs around that you can sit in with little tables.
All right, good choice going with the gazebo style because you don't have enough there to support a restaurant.
I know it's pickle flavored. I mean, I could, but I'm not.
but he didn't.
But he didn't. Pickle Rick with his little rat arms and rat legs.
In my pitch.
Yes,
it's all about Pickle Rick.
You said Pickle Rick. That's good job. You have a pickle restaurant. You have a
pickle
booth.
plaza. I know I have a pickle stand.
Pickle stand. You're right.
Pickle booth.
Not a full restaurant. Maybe one day.
Does it sell ice cream? Does it sell drinks?
Look, it sells anything that is pickle based. So okay, so here's the thing.
It's such a broad. It's such a broad like
Look, we can
pickled
have pickle
beets?
soda. Let me pitch to you my pickle
Pickled-
soda idea.
pickled
All right, look,
Asparagus?
listen, look and listen.
green
All right, here's
beans?
the thing. I can
Pickled
pitch you my
sardines.
pickle ice cream, and I can pitch you my pickle drink. All right, here we go. So, pickle drink is a pickle soda. You know how they have
See,
like
here's-
those sodas?
here's-
Listen,
here's-
hold on. I'm on a roll here. Hold on, listen, hold on. So, you know how they have like that ranch dressing soda and the buffalo soda? You can get like this unique style pickle soda right here. But also for the ice cream, here's the pitch. Vanilla ice cream and pickle flavored olive oil. It's easy. You just drizzle it on top of the vanilla ice cream.
I don't.
Get your sweet.
I don't like the sound
get
of
your
any of
salty.
that.
you get
I
your
don't like
bitter.
the sound of that at
no,
all.
listen.
I
Olive
don't
oil
like.
on ice cream
I
is
don't like
delicious.
pickles in general.
Olive
so-
oil on ice
Well,
cream?
that's on you. Olive oil on ice cream is delicious. So if you just get a little extra like dill, you can actually even just put dill on it. Just sprinkle some dill on top of the olive oil.
Here's where I'm
Bada
running into
bing,
an issue
delicious.
with all of your list of things. Are we
And
still
pickles
actually
are vegan.
are we still actually discussing pickles or the act of pickling?
The actual like a dill pickle or a bread and butter pickle, it is specific to having a pickle of some kind. Dill in there or like a pickled cucumber. I'm not talking about like pickled veggies. Like we're talking like actual pickles of all kinds.
All right.
Anything that involves a pickle.
What about a cornichon?
If it's got a pickle in it, we can do it.
What is a cornichon?
It's a tiny pickle for
The little
for
the
charcuterie.
gherkins. You talking about like the gherkins? Talking about like a gherkin.
Yes.
The gherkin?
Yes.
Yeah, wait. So you called a gherkin a what?
It's called a cornichon.
A Cornichon.
Cornichon.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about like a Cornish hen for a second.
You sure
like
that's not a
stuffing it with
different type of pickle?
I'm not sure entirely.
I'm gonna look it up.
I know that a tiny pickle for charcuterie is called a cornichon.
It is a pickled cucumber. It's a Cornichon.
A cornichon
Mhm.
is what, a gherkin or just separate from a gherkin?
It's known as a gherkin in Britain, known as a pickle in the United States.
Ah.
So where's it known as a
Uh,
cornichon?
It's just another name for a pickled cucumber is a Cornichon.
Maybe it's known as that in Indonesia, which I don't know if you know this. Our podcast is number 33 in comedy fiction in Indonesia.
For real?
We've
This is
actually
news to
gone
me.
down-
This
We've
is
gone
great.
down some ranks. We've
I
gone
guess
down some
it's-
ranks. We were
I guess
higher.
it's
So
it's
this is to our
French.
Indonesia friends. What do you call a pickle in Indonesia?
I guess it's French.
The cornichon?
Yeah, that sounds right. I also think it's interesting that no one really had a question about me saying it's a Kool-Lickle because it's dipped in Kool-Aid. No questions on that.
But that's the thing at state fairs. I already know that.
Yeah, it is, and that's what's wild. Is it's
That's
literally-
the only reason I allowed your berry pickle to keep going was because I do know that is a thing.
Berry
at
berry.
state fairs.
But look at all the references I used. I mean, Calaxian
look,
Crystal.
look,
Come
you-
on,
We're-
look, I did my
look,
research.
Look, Chris and I have built entire lands for Rick and Morty,
Mhm,
and you've
mhm.
built something that would fit at a state fair. So
Look, I built
Mhm,
two rides,
congrats.
and when you're. But here's the thing: once you
The
go on
county
those rides, what do
fair,
you want to have?
we can go-
You wanna have
we
a
can go
nice
and see-
pretzel with a little bit of dill flavor, or you want to have like a nice salty pretzel. With
I
nice
like to
salty
imagine
pickle.
the outside is like a painting of Rick and Morty, but because it's a state fair thing, they kind of
It's
look
just
off.
It's just
It's like
Pickle Rick.
they got a local artist to like kind of paint.
Pickle Rick was
Alright.
like, "No Rick rolls here, just pickles."
all right, now that we've gone to the pickle podcast, let's go ahead and
Number
recap.
one.
Let's recap our rides for Vince, because Vince, it's about time for those awards. So
Okay.
my 3 rides were Flight of the Ricks, my flying roller coaster, Mr. Poopy Butthole's AP Imposter, my Toy Story Mania style laser ride, and Jerry's Joyful Jaunt, my dark ride. Chris?
And mine was Total Recall Annihilation, which is my laser tag experience / social media invasion. Operation HORSE, the boardwalk game, and Rick and Morty UMCU. We did multiverse first ride.
All right, and
And
Spencer.
mine were Rick to the Future, The Ride, I Love Rick and Roll, Adventures Through the Garage, and Pickle Rick's Pickle Plaza.
All right. Spencer, now it's time for our awards. So Spencer, tell us what those 3 categories are as we jump into our first one.
Yeah, so the 3 categories we have, I'll just recap the categories and we'll dive in. Creative, which is really anything, for lack of a better term, that is creative, something unique and interesting. Practicality, which is something that could be built pretty relatively easily in a theme park today. And guest favorite, which, Vince, these are the attractions that float your boat, that Rick your Morty, whatever the case may be, tickle your funny bone, whatever they are. I was going to say pickle your Rick, but I mean, that seems a little weirder.
No, Rick your Morty is definitely weirder.
Don't like
Rick
really?
your Morty.
Yeah, no.
Weird.
Absolutely.
Just talking about that Korean fall doing something to his Korean.
So whatever pickles your Rick.
Yep.
Whatever pickles your Rick is literally anything goes.
All right, great. So Vince, now it is time for you to award our awards. So we're gonna start with creative, the easy category, I should say. But with these rides, who knows? So what are you going to give bronze for creative of the 9 attractions that you've heard of today? All right, Chris.
Thank you.
It does. It very uncomfortable.
Very
Great. So Chris walks away with the first medal of the season. How about silver for creativity? Yes. Best character. All right, and finally gold for creativity.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Spencer gets a gold. Okay.
I love the lateral thinking of Rick rolling, and it was the only pitch that used like the micro universes, and I was impressed with Spencer for not having seen the show to come up with something like that.
Thank you. I did my research.
All right, let's jump
Just didn't watch the show.
Let's jump into practicality.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely can stick it up there pretty quickly.
It is definitely be up very quick. It's you have it built tomorrow. Great.
Oh, really? I built it last night before the pitch.
Proof of concept is what it is.
What do you have for silver for practicality? And finally, gold for practicality. Yes! Jerry's Joyful Jaunt gets the gold.
There seems to be a favorite so far.
All right.
Okay.
I'm happy. That brings us finally to guest favorite. What is your bronze?
Yeah. I always get a point with food. I knew I could always get a point with food.
I knew this was gonna be a contentious one because you all hated it.
No, I thought it was great. I love that pitch.
But I've grown to love pickles in the last year. Excellent pitch.
Your silver for guest favorite?
Mr. Poopy Butthole's AP Imposter.
I just love how many times Mr. Poopy Butthole's AP Imposter just been set on this.
It's a favorite. It's a hands down favorite.
Mr. Poopy Butthole.
Again.
And gold?
It is Jerry's Joyful Jaunt.
Brad,
you're the MVP. I think I chose that one the most every single category.
So far.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Not so far. It's over.
So far, that's it. That's the award.
Oh, it's over. Oh no. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get.
I was very proud of Jerry's Joyful Jaunt. That was.
But I do have one question. Was it with the jalopy involved that it got more points? Like, aka, next time?
I can absolutely say no. I must have been my choice. But no.
I mean, let's be honest. The cars for this ride are gonna be like cardboard box style, like looking.
Well, then I'm not a fan anymore.
If Jerry's fake.
Unless it's Jerry's Joyful Jaunt in just
walkie-talkie taped to the front as your speaker.
Headlights or
What kind of show
flashlights
is
just like
this?
attached to the side.
Jerry's just the greatest too.
Yes, it's my one of my favorite characters. So, well, thank you so much, Vince, for being a guest today. Do you have anything you would like to say before we go? Anything you'd like to plug?
Thank you so much for having me. If you want to see me draw people's cats in bags or boxes, follow me on Instagram at Vince_Dixon, where I will be posting these pictures of cats. And I also make films and other things that you can find on there as well.
Great. All right. So we'll make sure to include the link to your Instagram in our description for those listening along. Anyways, thank you so much. This has been Theoretical Thrills. I've been Brad.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Chris.
And that's Vince. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful day, wonderful life. Mwah.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Did you enjoy the episode you just watched? Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have an interpretation of an idea based on the theme of the week, feel free to tag us on social media with hashtag Theoretical Thrills, and we may feature your ride-in attraction on the show.
Theoretical thrills, the theory of the thrill.